Good morning. Welcome to Plugged In. We will be in Luke chapter 17 right after this. We are glad to have you back with us. It's not sunny, and it has definitely turned Thanksgiving weather. We do need the rain, and so we are to be thankful in all things, and so we do thank the Lord for the rain. I would like to read a story out of the Bible, one of my favorite stories found in Luke's Gospel, and part of the story is going to appear on the screen here in just a few moments. I don't use this story every Thanksgiving, but it's one of my favorite that I do around this time of the year. But it goes this way. Now, on his way to Jerusalem, Jesus traveled along the border between Samaria and Galilee. As he was going into a village, 10 men who had leprosy met him. They stood at a distance and called out in a loud voice, "Jesus, Master, have pity on us." When he saw them, he said, "Go, show yourselves to the priests." And as they went, they were cleansed. One of them, when he saw that he had been healed, came back, praising God in a loud voice. He threw himself at Jesus' feet and thanked him, and he was a Samaritan. Jesus asked, "Were not all 10 cleansed? Where are the other 9? Has no one returned to give praise to God except this foreigner?" And then he said to him, "Rise and go. Your faith has made you well." There's a story of a small town nursing home that was about to celebrate the Thanksgiving Day festivities. The tables had been set with seasonal colors and all the fine china, and the servers were ready to bring to the residents turkey and ham, mashed potatoes, gravy, corn, green bean casserole, stuffing. Just the mentioning of all that gets me ready for Thursday. All your traditional fixings were being prepared and ready for the delightful meal. A few minutes before the food was to be brought out, the director of the facility asked for each resident to share something they were thankful for. There were the normal responses. Some were thankful for family, and some were thankful for family that still came to visit them. Others were thankful for a caring place in which they could stay, a safe place. And still others were thankful for the friendships that they had developed in their time there. Finally, one lady spoke up and said, "I am thankful for 2 perfectly positioned teeth, one in my upper jaw and one in my lower, so that I can chew my food." What is it that you are thankful for this Thanksgiving season? Here's a different question. Have you taken time out throughout the year to give thanks, or have you saved it all up for just one day? Here's an even harder question. Are we like the men in this story that we read about? Have we become so preoccupied, or we might be so preoccupied on Thanksgiving Day, even a day set aside to give thanks, that we forget to give thanks? There are some different observations from this story that can be made from this healing. One is this: Jesus did not even touch these men who were healed. He simply said a word, and they were healed. Jesus did not say a prayer for them to be healed. He did not even ask of them to display a faith. Jesus did send them away before the miracle actually took place. This was a test of faith. He healed them, he healed 9 men who he knew through foreknowledge would be ungrateful. But Jesus was hoping that they would be grateful. Jesus demanded no money. He demanded no praise, no testimonies, nothing as a result of their healing. The one who was least privileged was the most thankful. That is the Samaritan. He was a foreigner. Apparently, the rest of them were Jews. So this man not only had the leprosy like fellow Jews, but then he was separated because of where he stood socially. And finally, we can pick up from this story the ingratitude of the 9 apparently shocked and disappointed Jesus. Here are some simple takeaways that I want to give to you this morning, this Monday prior to Thanksgiving. Some things for you to think about and to maybe give thanks for and to be ever mindful of praise for. The first is this: you don't have to be a person of faith for God to perform a miracle in your life. Again, Jesus didn't ask these men to put their faith in him before the miracle happened. And there's a lot of miracles that happen for those who are in the faith and those who are out. But those who are in the faith seem to recognize for sure where the miracle comes from. But here's a great promise: God's healings are not reserved just for those who are in the faith. Number 2, it does not matter what your social standing might be, whether in your workplace, your neighborhood, your town. In Jesus' eyes, everyone is equal. They're equal in the sense that they are in need of him as the healer of broken lives. Every one of us in our own different ways are broken. Only Jesus can heal that. And here's the last thought. These men had leprosy, which separated them from family, friends, their community. Sin separates us from God. So we all, because we've all fallen short of the glory of God, we all, because of sin in our lives, need a Savior. And Jesus is that Savior. He is the only one. The Apostle Peter said this: salvation is found in no one else, for there is no other name under heaven given to men by which we must be saved. What is it you're thankful for this Thanksgiving season? What is it you will take time out to give God praise for? Don't do it in a haphazard, quick way. Take some time. Sit down with a piece of paper and a pen, and don't just write family. What is it about the family? What is it about individuals in the family. Maybe you're thankful for your job, but what is it about the job? I challenge you in this way because here's what's going to happen. It's not going to take long before you're going to have a full sheet of things that you're praising God for what He's done. Let's not be like the 9 who get preoccupied and don't give thanks to God. Instead, let's be like that Samaritan who came back praising God for all that He's done. Have a wonderful week, a wonderful, safe Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next Monday on Plugged In.